Hello everyone, this is Keren from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me. This is what I'm going to be making today. It's a rather unusually shaped box, and inside it holds 3 tea lights, which would be a nice little gift for somebody with a little bit of room to spare actually. And if you would like to see how I made it, well then please do stay with me and I will show you. To make a triangle box, first of all I need to make a template, and this is a piece of the card that comes as a backer to the DSP, and it's a very nice weight. It's not too thick, it's not too heavy, and I'm going to use this to make a template. Once I've made it once, I have it forever. So I have I've got my piece of card and I've cut it at 8 inches, so it's 8 by 12, and I'm going to mark it at 4 inches at the bottom. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to mark it again at 4 inches, and then I'm going to join those 2 lines together so that I've got a vertical. I'm just taking a little bit of time about making sure that my line is in fact vertical. Okay, right, now I'm going to take my ruler, and this is an 8-inch length, and I'm going to have an 8-inch triangle. So I'm going to put the 8 mark on the corner of my paper, and then I'm just going to move my ruler so that the end of it is in sort of touches that line. Okay, I'm trying to keep it all nice and straight, and then I'm just going to draw along that line. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this side. And I'm going to draw along that line. So now if that is 8 inches, and that is 8 inches, and that is 8 inches, that is an equilateral triangle, or I missed my guess. So all I have to do now is to cut it out. And I'm going to use my Stampin' trimmer for this. And this is going to be one of those things that is a little bit trial and error and guesswork. And actually the first thing I'm going to do, rather than try and work around with a huge bit of card that I don't need, I'm just going to cut that waste bit off. Right, so now I can line my lines up in the channel, and I can make sure corner to corner, nice and straight, hold that down, and go forward and back, because it is after all slightly heavier card, and do the same again. Try not to get my head in the shot. Okay, and there it is. And you can make any size triangle that your paper will fit. So I've taken my template and I've put it onto a piece of Blushing Bride, drawn all around it and cut it out, and I've done that twice, and I've got 2 triangles of Blushing Bride. And now I am going to score them, and first of all I'm going to line the long edge up against the edge of my board, and I'm going to score at the 1 inch mark, and then I'm going to rotate my triangle and I'm going to score again at the 1 inch mark. And I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to score again at the 1 inch mark. So I will have a 1 inch deep box. Now this is going to be the base of my box, and I want to do one more thing before I finish, and that is I want to draw a vertical line from the point where those cross to the top, so that this will help me later. So I'm just finding where they cross, and I'm just moving the piece of card until I'm sitting in a groove, and I'm just going to move up there, and I'm going to do the same thing on all sides. I'm just moving until I'm in a groove, and I'm just going straight up, and this is just going to help me when I come to make my box later, to make my edges nice and straight. Okay, and just moving that up. Okay, and I need to do, I haven't done that one. Silly me. And just straight up. Okay, Now that is going to be the box lid, because that's going to be the bigger one. Oh, no, that's going to be the box base. For the box lid, I have my other triangle which the cat is sitting on, so I'm going to have to disturb her. And this is my box lid shim. And what this is, it's a couple of pieces of card that's been glued to a piece of window sheet that I've cut and bent so that it fits over the edge of my scoreboard. And what that does is I push my card up against that and I score again at 1 inch. And what that does is that it pushes the card out very slightly, so that it will be very, very slightly different in size, shape, size from the base. Now you see, the light is not good tonight and I can't see where I've scored and where I haven't. Okay, so I've done this, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to find a groove and I'm going to score up from the edges. And when I come to put the box together, you will see why I'm doing this. Now, if you're good at right angles, cutting them by eye as it were, you don't need to do this, but I'm not. My excuse is that I have astigmatism. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so I've got both parts of my box now scored up. And I'm going to put that on one side. And if you want information about how to make the box lid shim, I've learned how to do it by watching Connie Stewart, and I will put a link underneath here so that you can find it. I was interrupted when filming the previous segment. My husband came home and I had to stop what I was doing. So it's now some time later. In fact, it's a day or so later. And I want to decorate the top of the box before I actually make it. So I need to know which is the top and which is the bottom. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to line up the two pieces along one edge. And I'm going to look at where the score lines are. Now, can you see that on this piece here, the score line is further out towards the edge than on that piece there? Can you see the difference? Let me hold it that way for you. Can you see? And that means that this one is the top of the box and this is the bottom of the box. So I'm going to make up the bottom of the box first, and I need my scissors. And I need my fast fuse, which is over here. So let me bring that in. Right, now to put this box together, I'm going to choose one of the corners and I'm going to snip in along the diagonal, just like that. And then remember I scored those vertical lines, you know, coming in from the edge there. I'm going to cut along that one. So I've cut out a little triangle. And I'm going to rotate. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to rotate. And do it again. And now, the other straight vertical line that I folded, I'm going to fold along there. Now I think I'll also tab these a little bit as well. So that they're not occupying the same space, and I just chop off the ends there to save bulk. And oh, where's my bone folder? Fetching my bone folder here. Oops, sorry about that. Bumped the table. I'm just going going to burnish these folds. A little bit of fast fuse. I should put a couple of bits on there. Fast fuse doesn't want to play today. That's better. Another piece on this one that I did first, just to make sure. And again, you could use tape. If you use wet glue, hold it with a peg or a clip or something until it all closes. I'm just bringing it all together. And that is the base of my box. Done the same process for the lid of the box, and now I want to put the DSP mat onto the top of it, and I want to do that while it's still flat because it's going to be a little bit easier to work with. So I need to cut myself a mat that's a little bit smaller than this triangle in the middle. So first thing I'm going to do is I measured it, and it came out at about 4 3/4 of an inch. So I cut myself a piece of card which was 4 1/4 inches along the bottom, and I did the same process as I did when I made the first template, and I've made myself another card template. So I'm going to bring in my DSP, which I've cut to 4 1/4 inches along the bottom, and I'm going to mark this on the reverse. Now originally I was going to use this side, which is really pretty, but then I realised that I was going to be covering it all up with and actually that side's not 4 1/4, this side is 4 1/4. Sorry, it was too short. I realised then that I was going to be covering it with a doily, so it wasn't really going to show, and it's not a huge triangle anyway. So there it is. I've just traced around it, traced the outline around it. I'm going to keep that for another day so I can mass produce these boxes. Now either, if you're good with scissors, you can come in with your scissors and you can cut those. I am not good with scissors, so I am going to use my Stampin' trimmer. Yeah. And I'm just, actually first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off along the top of the triangle there. Let's bring the ruler back in. Will make it a little bit easier for me to maneuver if I do this. Okay, so make sure that's straight. Oops. Don't press too hard on pencil because I will break the legs. And I'm going to chop that bit off. So line that up in the groove and slice. Turn that round because I'm working left-handed. I don't know why I'm working left-handed, because I'm not a lefty, but it just goes to show to you that the Stampin' trimmer works right-handed or left-handed. But I don't know why I did that, because I am very definitely right-handed. And turn that round. Same thing again, so I'm lining up the line I've drawn in the groove, the running groove that the blade runs along. I cut that off. Okay, and there is my line. There's my mat, which is going to go that way, and it's going to fit nicely on the top of there. So, bit of snail. And the cat has just appeared over on my left. Don't know whether she's going to make an appearance. And somebody commented that they'd like to see more of my clean cat because she was washing herself. She's washing herself again. So I did do a little bit of a video of her having a wash. So at the very end of this video, if you stay tuned, I will put in the bit of her sitting on my crafting table and having a wash. Although, you know, she won't show you her beautiful face, but you'll see the top of her head. Okay, so that is on there. Now I have one of our tea lace doilies, and I'm going to put that along the top. And I'm going to put one strip of snail just in the middle, because, come on snail, come and play. That's better. Just put a little bit of snail in the middle, because it may be visible and I don't want that. So I'm trying to line that up so that it sits nicely in the middle. I'll fold down my box and yeah, so I'm going to put a little bit of snail just here. Come on snail. Oh, you know, I know people who don't get on with fast foods. It's snail that fights me all the time. I have snail fights. Just again, just to keep that held down. And one more time. Okay. There we go. And I'm just going to gently, because I can be quite rough and heavy-handed. My mother always used to say to me, "You're so rough, Keren." And there, that's where it's going to look. So, fast fuse, fast fuse, fast fuse. Would you believe it? There was the phone, and it is 8:25 on Sunday morning. It happens to be my birthday. My mother-in-law was ringing up to wish me happy birthday. So let's just carry on as though nothing had happened, shall we? So now I'm just finishing up the lid of my box. Yeah, and if I've done that right, that should fit on top of that, and it does. I forgot to say before I covered everything up that this DSP, which is this one, is from the birthday bouquet stack, which is in the Occasions of Spring Summer catalogue. So now I'm going to do a greasing to go on top of it, and I'm going to be using this set, which is Grateful Bunch, which is also in the Spring Summer catalogue. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. And I'm back. And I'm using this one, You Are Totally Awesome. I've mounted it up already. It's a photopolymer stamp. So I've got my silicone mat ready. And I'm using basic grey ink and a scrap of Whisper White. And as you can see, the Whisper White has been chopped into on more than one occasion. So I'm inking up my stamp well. And it's around about there, I think. And I'm just going to press down, and I'm just going to hold it. And I count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to make sure that the ink really transfers. Pull it away, and that is done. So close up my ink pad so I don't put my thumb in it. And if you think that would never happen, you obviously haven't watched this channel before. Right, so I've got my large oval punch. We don't have a small oval anymore, which did upset me somewhat because I really did like that small oval punch. It was very useful. But hey ho, we move on. We have to make room in the catalogue for new things. otherwise it would be boring. And this is a scrap of Blushing Bride, which was left over from when I made the box. And this is the Scallop Oval Punch. And the two nest perfectly. So, where's the snake? Here it is. Oh, and actually, before I put them together, I've got my Gold Wink of Stella here. And I'm just going to, let me just check first that it is running. My scrap paper, there it is. Yeah. Don't know whether you can see it, but there's just a hint of gold glitter. Oh, actually, it's the clear I've got, not the gold. Duh. And I'm just going to run just around the edge. Hardly see it at all. But just on the edge, just a hint. And it is very, very subtle. But it is there. Just adds a little bit of, tiny little bit of bling. And actually, do you know what? I think I'll do it on the, I think I'll do it around the edges of the scalloped oval as well. Why not? Let's go mad. Okay, it's not, don't know whether or not you can see that, but there is a very, very, just a hint of very subtle glitter. And I like it because it's not in your face. It's not like, whoa, glitter. It's just, ooh, what's that? Just shimmering away there. So now I'm in with my snail. I'm just going to mount that up on top of that. Okay, and we're nearly done. So it's back with the lid of my box. And and where shall I put that? Let me see. Let's put that there. Right. Okay. So a couple of other little bits to add to it. I've got these, which are the It's My Party enamel dots. And we have some here which are mint macaron, which is the same colour as is in the DSP there. So I'm going to use a couple of those. Just, there's two sizes, there's a big one and a little one, and I'm using the little ones. So let's pop those on there, and I think it definitely needs a bit of something to stop it looking like the all-seeing eye there. So this is our mint macaron dotted lace ribbon. So I'm just going to cut a bow of that. Just going to make a bow. That is totally going to be fast forwarded. Because otherwise you've got 10 minutes of me trying to tie a bow and not succeeding, quite frankly. Okay, so let's tidy that up. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, like that. So let's put that off to one side, like that. Glue dots, glue dots, glue dots, glue dots. Oop, do, 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 do. Okay. And just put one over there. And one over here. Make sure we're on the same side. The first one I put on's come off. Wonderful. I tell you what, let's just get it stuck down. And then we come back later and put in some more dots if we want them. Oh dear. Don't know what's happened to my voice this morning. It's gone, excuse me. There we are. Okay, and here it is, and all I have to do now is to pop my little gift inside. So I've got 3 Yankee Candle tea lights here, and these are fresh cut rose, and they smell absolutely heavenly, and they just fit nicely inside. So there's the finished article. Now the tea lights are quite heavy, so when I gave this to somebody, I think I would probably put a little bit of tape just to hold the box closed until they were ready to open it. But otherwise, I do hope very much that you have enjoyed this tutorial, and if so, then I would very much love it if you would leave me a comment or click the like button. And certainly if you'd like to see more of my tutorials, then please do subscribe to this channel, because I will be posting more soon. And if you want to know more, then I have a blog and I have a Facebook page which is Tuppence Coloured, and you can get there from the links in the more information box below. And certainly if you want to find out about how to get to the materials I used, well, then there is a link to my Stampin' Up shop as well. But for now, I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.